Kirtan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradha Hari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rūpa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakammalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rūpam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitanscha. So these are the prayers for the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Shad Gosvāmis, the 6 Gosvāmis of Vrindavan. And then to the Lordships, He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I'm very happy to be again part of Saturday Satsang program after I think a 1.5 months break. I'm very happy to see you all. Hare Krishna. So before I went, I was in India during this time. Many things happened. We can speak afterwards. So before this, there was a Phoenix trip that I went. I have a good fortune of accompanying Balram Prabhu, and Balram Prabhu spoke about this topic in one of the classes in like Phoenix congregation. So he mentioned about this. So this is related to a verse in Padyāvalī. I will go through that verse today. Very nice verse. It's very relevant to many of the practicing devotees. So during the satsang program, we have seen Gita classes that are being taken, and also we took like Isopanishad series, and also daily we have like a discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam and so on. So all these I told in the previous classes as well. So Srila Prabhupada's vision, and also what Prabhupada tells in his classes, is that any temple that we see, especially ISKCON temples, follow this. So any temple should predominantly serve 5 purposes. One is the temple should provide, of course, Krishna darshan, but Krishna siksha is one thing Prabhupada tells. So it should give education about what is, bhakti, or like what we have to do, what are the right practices that are to be done. So Krishna siksha, Krishna darshan, Krishna naam, which should give the holy name of the Lord, and Krishna prasad and Krishna seva. So all these are the predominant things that we see. Whatever the program that goes on, it tries to serve some of these aspects. So even having kirtan is actually direct offering to the Lord, and also followed by a class is to support that Krishna siksha aspect. That is to hear from the Mahajanas through their prayers and so on. So today what I'll speak is, so these topics, what we have learned from these Upanishad courses and so on, is that so we have been awarded by this body. We are pure spiritual beings. That's what Krishna opens the discussion with Arjuna in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that whatever we are having is just like a covering. Vasamsa jirnani yatha vihaya navati gruhnati naroparani. Krishna clearly says how a person changes from one place to another, like one house to another, like how we are having a lot of housewarming celebrations and so on. Like that, what we are living in, this is what is it? Though this is a mundane, like a matter that the body is given, but we are actually living in this. So we are the pure spiritual sparks which are present in an outward covering called body. So whatever the bodily needs, or like whatever bodily sufferings, or whatever we name it, difficulties or whatever, is of the body. But soul is something which is eternal and which doesn't have death or any other things. That's what the following discussion goes. So, like in any of the spiritual discussions that the Shastras gave, this point is very much emphasized, that any living being, it's not just human beings, any beings in the like these worlds that we are seeing in the Jagat. I told in the Isopanishad class, Jagat means Jayate Gacchate iti Jagat. That is that which is born and is annihilated. So this goes into a repeated creation and annihilation. So that is the Jagat, or the universe that we call it. So any being in the universe or this Jagat, predominantly, especially animalistic species of life, if you see, they have like 4 activities. That is eating, mating, sleeping, defending. So majority of our activities also are centered around perfecting these 4 things. But what Shastras teach us is to go beyond these 4 and to inquire about what is the purpose of life. Shankaracharya writes this in Bhajagovindam also. I repeatedly quotes this. Kaye kanta kaste putra samsaraiva mativa vichitra kasyatvam va kuta ayata tattvam chintiya tadiya bhrataha bhajagovindam govindam bhajamudhamate. That's what he says. That is kaye kanta kaste putra. So the your partner or the kids, who are these? Like it will ask, like it's a spiritual, like a philosophical verse. Like what he says is, these all relationships are there, but where are they coming from? Kasyatvam va kuta ayataha. Kasyatvam va means to whom you belong to. Kuta ayataha, from where you came. Tattvam, so this philosophy, chintiya, meditate on it. Tadiya brataha, oh my brother, think of these aspects. Bhajagovindam, govindam bhajamudhamate, like it says. So, like even I also said this verse in one of the previous sessions, that in the 2nd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, so another verse also speaks this, that is Taravah kim na jivanti. Like it is actually encouraging us to go beyond these 4 things, and also go beyond the conception that you are just an animalistic being. To like these verses actually make us think more, That is taravah kim na jivanti. If you are thinking that, oh, I am living in this world for so many years, so am I something special? If that question you have, taravah kim na jivanti. Or the trees do not live. And bhastra kim na swasanyuta. You might think, oh, I am breathing and my belly is expanding and contracting about this breathing that I am taking. Then this verse is bhastra kim na swasanyuta. That is, do the bellows of blacksmith not breathe? And na khadanti na mehanti kim grame pasavo apare. Like if you see other animals in the like in the street, that's what the verse actually means. Na khadanti na mehanti. Do they not procreate and do they not eat? That means what this verse is saying is all these activities are being done by all the other species also. What differentiates human form of life is that we can go beyond just satisfying these four things, but to inquire kasyatvam, from where I have come from, what is life, what is suffering, what is death, all these questions, what is this repeated, like generations after generations, if we keep on going. So what is going on, what is this process? To inquire this is what the intelligence of the human beings was given. And through whatever the classes that we are saying, that is to take shelter of the Shastras. And also in the introduction, Srila Prabhupada writes in Ishopanishad that so Shastras are like mother, That's why even Smardhas also call Veda Mata or Upanishad Mata, they say. That is, they treat like verses of Vedas or Upanishads as mother. So why it's called mother is because if there is a young baby, so how the baby knows about the father is through mother. Mother shows, okay, this is your father, like that. That's how the baby gets introduced to the father. So this is the same reason we are actually trapped in this whole material world. So we are on the quest of inquiring who is that Supreme Father is. And the mother who guides us towards that father are these Shastras. So with that, so in the Bhagavatam classes and Bhagavad Gita classes that we have seen that, okay, we go from this understanding, we come to the temple, we see nice kirtans and bhajans are being sung, and there is prasadam that is being served. There are many Vaishnavas or many devotees who are inspiring us in giving their services and so on. So our that interest, that inquisitiveness towards understanding about Krishna, these are increasing. So we heard some pastimes and the basic aspects that is covered in any class, if any monk speaks also, is that we should not waste human form of life, and the way we have to effectively utilize is by rendering loving devotional service to the Lord and to chant the names of the Lord. That is the Yuga Dharma that is given to us. So in this aspect, there might be one question that we might get if you are sincere and are practicing, one question that we might get is, okay, we got this message, but what are the qualifications that Krishna sees in his devotees? We are trying to do some service, we are trying to render some to whatever the best extent we can. But one question is, what is the qualification or what are the qualifications that Krishna gets impressed or Krishna sees into the devotees? So this is something that is discussed in one of the verses of Padyāvalī. If you don't know what's Padyāvalī, so Padyāvalī are the series of verses which are compiled by one of the Shad Gosvāmis, Sri Rūpa Gosvāmī. It has amazing verses. In many of the classes, I quote actually Padyāvalī verses, and Dhruva Prabhu also quotes a lot. These are very nice verses which are compiled. In that, this verse we will see, very nice verse. You can try to repeat me. I will break the verse into some sections and you can repeat now. Vyādhasya charanam, you can Dhruvasya chavayo Vidya Gajendrasya ka Kubjāya kimunama Rūpa madhikam kimunama Rūpa kim tat Sudāmno dhanam vamseh ko Vidurasya Yadavapater Ugrasya kim paurusham. These are the first 3 lines of the verse. The 4th verse I will tell after like some 15 minutes or so. So what it says is Vyadasya cha acharanam Dhruvasya cha vayo Vidya Gajendrasya ka Kubjāyah kimunama rūpamadhikam kim tat Sudāmno dhanam. So it is like the verse opens with where was hunter Dharma's piety and where is the age or maturity or like that age-wise maturity of Dhruva Maharaj. Vidya Gajendra Saka, where is the formal education of Gajendra? Like that it goes. So we'll try to see what these like different devotees that are mentioned in this verse. So this Vyadhasyacharanam, where was the hunter Dharma's piety? So this story comes in Vanaparva of Mahabharata. So in Vanaparva, Markandeya Rishi says these, like there will be 2 stories which will be telling to Yudhishthir, and in that discussion this verse comes, this story comes. So this Dharma, the Vyadha means he's a hunter named Dharma. His name is Dharma. So what's his story is, I'll tell. Once there is a Rishi, very powerful Rishi, his name is Kaushika. So when Kaushika is in his like ashram kind of thing, where he is studying shastras, engaging in the like the Agni karmas and all those things. So once when he is in deep meditation after like chanting Vedas or so, there are like 2 cranes who will be going above these Rishi's head, and then one of the feather falls on the Rishi's head and it disrupts his meditation. And then he glances at it very angrily, like because his that meditation is disturbed, he glances it very angrily. So that crane burns into ashes and falls there. So Kaushika understands that like glancing at it very angrily caused it to die. So he's a nice soul, like very pious soul. So he felt remorse and he felt a bit sad for it. But since anyhow it's disturbed, what they do is then they go into the town and then they beg alms, because that's what the rishis kind of sannyasis that time used to do. So like that he goes into the town to beg some alms. So like that he comes outside of the very chaste woman's house, and then he catches the bowl and asks Bhakti Bhikshandi, like that he asks. And I think he just asks Bhakti Bhikshandi, she tries to wash the bowl and bring. So this lady hears that there is a like sage who is at her doorstep, but she is not coming. She's going inside and all. You can see that there is like sound of her anklets or something, that she's moving here and that. So what she's doing is she's serving her husband, who is kind of bedridden. He has some health issues, so he's on the bed. So she is actually serving him, and after that she's about to wash this bowl and bring him some food. So that is what going on. So, but like in process of taking care of her husband, there was some time delay that's happened. So this Kaushika got angry and, oh my dear mother, didn't you hear that I was looking for the alms? And like that he asks in a grave voice. So the woman from inside, she shouts saying, oh my dear Rishi, I am actually tending to my older husband, and he's kind of having some health issues. Like I'm about to finish it. Just wait for a few minutes, I will bring. And please don't be angry. You are a learned sage and so on. I am not a crane to be burnt by your angry glances, you'll tell. So Kaushika Muni gets surprised. How like this happened somewhere in the forest in my ashram. How this lady knows about it. Then he patiently waited, and then this lady came out with the like whatever the bhiksha she's to give to the this Kaushika Muni. And then like he asked, how do you know that this happened and all? Then she tells, this is a story in Mahabharata. She says any chaste woman who is taking care of the family and who is very like doing her duties properly is equal to a sage who is performing so many austerities and all the tapasya, whatever he is getting, this is equal. This is a story that this is the pastime which gives that moral. So so that discussion goes on. She preaches and she also instructs the sage that all the objective of meditation is to have control over lust, anger, greed, all these things. You are losing anger so easily by burning the crane or by not able to wait for like few minutes and so on. Like you need to master that. Like that she is instructing the sage. He is like hearing everything and she is speaking proper shastric words and all. So Kaushika Muni gets surprised and she asks, this is all very good, like whatever you said is correct and I am also taking lesson from you. Where did you learn all this? Then she says, if you want to know how I got all these things, go to the market street. There is a hunter who will teach you the Dharma, what is to be done, like that. So Kaushika Muni again gets surprised. I am this austere Rishi who is doing tapasya for so many years. What is this lady? First she is saying that, like she told already what has happened in the forest. And the second thing is she is asking to go to a hunter to learn what are the teachings of Dharma, like that she'll ask. So like that, okay, let us see, this is very interesting. Like that Kaushika Muni walks towards the market and sees a hunter. So this hunter comes in the market and sells meat and so he stands like a bit distance from it. He's kind of confused. This looks like a proper tamasic environment, like it's a butcher shop where there is like animals which are being there. There are some people who are coming and purchasing and going. But to his great surprise, there are like a series of sages who are walking and offering obeisances to the hunter. And then hunter is speaking some shastric like things to them. And then they all again offer obeisances and they are going on. So like this 2-3 parties came of sages. So like the Kaushika is observing all this. He got surprised. What is going on here, like that? Then he doesn't know, like he is still confused whether to go in and introduce or what, like that. He's just standing there. Then the hunter comes outside. He's the Vyatha, Dharma Vyatha. So the hunter comes outside and meets Kaushika Muni. And he introduces, I am so-and-so hunter named Dharma. Like I am the one that the lady asked you to meet, like that he says. So Kaushika Muni gets surprised again. How does he know that there is no phone calls or something, right? Like to text, hey, there is one like Kaushika Muni coming to meet you or so on. So all this is surprising. He's observing him. So there is the next following thing is, so this Kaushika will ask so many questions. You look like a guy who is doing butchering and all that. Then how can you speak these kind of like very perfect shastric words, and also why other people are coming to learn from you what is going on. So then he will tell the context of the like why he has been. So his family has been involved in so many from generations in this thing. He doesn't hunt the animals, but whatever the animals that are fell properly to their praise or so on, like that the animals which are in the forest will just bring like cell skin or something like that. It's just coming from that. He will tell what all the things that he performs. He follows proper things, but just to maintain his body he does these things. And then there will be a whole kind of karma yoga aspect that he teaches Kaushika Muni there. So this is called as Vyata Gita or something like that. So the Gita of hunter, like that, there will be a section in Mahabharata actually. So what this section says is, if you think that like to practice the devotional principles, we need proper like setup of like so austere families which are having proper acharas or something. So Dharma Vyatha is one example where maybe like where is the piety of the like this hunter or the butcher named Dharma. That is one thing he says. And the second thing is Dhruva Maharaj story. So we have we know about the Dhruva Maharaj story also. So that so Dhruva Maharaj is like son of younger wife, Suniti, Surichi, like that. There are 2 wives for King Uttanapada, And so Dhruva was insulted by his stepmother. Once he's playing in the lap of his father, but the stepmother pulls him from his throne, and she says some harsh words, and Dhruva Maharaj gets really upset. And then Dhruva Maharaj goes to his mother and asks, what should I do, to get like father's love, all this. Then his mother guides him in a perfect knowledge, saying, oh my dear son, yes, you have your father, and yes, your stepmother is kind of not allowing you to go to your father and all, but there is one supreme father who will satisfy all the desires. And to find him, you have to go to the forest and meditate on him and gets his blessings and mercy, so that you will achieve whatever you want to do. That's the first right guidance as a mother, Dhruva Maharaj's mother did. So he walked into the forest. Then he has all these desires to get a good kingdom, to win the love of his father and so on, but he doesn't know what to do. So again, tad vijnanardham sa gurumeva vigaccheta, Upanishad words. That is, to obtain knowledge, one must approach a bona fide guru. And samitpani srotriyam brahmanishtam, it says. You have to approach that guru, that spiritual master, who is brahmanishtam, a great devotee of the Lord. So Dhruva Maharaj meets Narada Muni in the forest. So Narada Muni actually asks what he wants, and he says, to win the heart of Supreme Father, you have to perform so and so austerities. He tells these like set of 6 months of instructions he gives. First he will take only some solid food, then he'll stop it, then he'll stop here, like that. There is a series of austerities, and while meditating he says the mantra also. So the mantra is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So that is a Dhruva Maharaj chants this mantra, which was given by his spiritual master, and like that he follows these austerities. And after 6 months, Lord Vishnu gets impressed by Dhruva Maharaj's austerities. So Dhruva Maharaj, like after exerting such an extreme austerities, there is a verse also. So Mahavishnu, when he appears, he puts conch shell on Dhruva Maharaj's head, and he spiritually electrifies Dhruva Maharaj. Yontah pravishya mama vacha imam prashuptan sanjeeva yakila sakti swadhamna anyacha hastacharana sravanatvagadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. These are the words offered by Dhruva Maharaj. When Vishnu puts the conch shell on the forehead, on the head of Dhruva Maharaj, he spiritually electrifies like that. That means Yontah pravishya mama vacha imam prashuptan. My senses, including the speech, which are dormant because of the extreme tapasya that is done, but swadhamna, by your own internal energy, you have awakened them. So anyacha hasta charana sravana tvak adin. So all my hands, legs, tvak means skin in Sanskrit, all these are now regenerated. And pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. They are all awakened now. O my Lord, unto that Supreme Lord, by whose internal potency you have awakened and gave me this power of speech and other senses and all, to that Lord I offer my obeisances, like that the verse is. So like that, Dhruva Maharaj exerts austerities under the guidance of Narada Muni and wins heart of Mahavishnu. So then you can ask, does Dhruva Maharaj have enough age to perform devotional principles? So age is no barrier for performing bhakti. And then Vidya Gajendrasyaka, where is the formal education of Gajendra? If anyone is wondering about, I don't have high scholarly education and all, is that a minimum, is that a qualification to win Lord's heart? An elephant which has taken, of course the elephant is Indrajumna Maharaj in previous birth and is a great devotee, but when he was caught by a crocodile in the pool, we have some session on Gajendra Moksha also. So though using his strength, he was not able to fight off that crocodile, and in total surrender he offered the prayers to the Lord. So then we saw, like all the Gajendra Moksha Stotram is like that only. And when he offered the series of prayers out of helplessness towards Lord, then Mahavishnu comes Sontah Urubalena gruhita artho društva garutmati harim kavupatta chakram. Like that the verse comes. That is when Gajendra gave these repeated prayers to Vishnu, then immediately he saw that Garutmati Upatta Chakram. He saw Vishnu sitting on Garuda coming to rescue this Gajendra with Upatta Chakram, with a wielded disc. And then what is then it says Narayana Khila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. By looking at that darshan, then the elephant forgets that it's going to die, and in the hands of crocodile, takes a lotus from the pond and offers to Lord Narayana. That's that verse. So we can see that knowledge, the true knowledge is to remember Lord Hari in the need, in the times of need or in the distress. That's what displayed by Gajendra or Prahlad Maharaj or Draupadi. And Kubjāya kimunama rūpam adhikam. So there is one, hunchbacked maid servant. When Krishna and Balaram entered Mathura, then they see there is this hunchback. It's like what is her name? Trivakra or something like that. There is her name. So she is basically a young hunchback maid servant who will be supplying some beauty ointments to King Kamsa. But though Krishna and Balaram are seen as enemies, but she takes she welcomes them and gives heartfelt hospitality towards them and apply that fine ointments to Krishna. So Krishna gets so impressed by the sincerity of Kubjā, and then he lifts her by her chin and removes her hunchbackness and bestows the material beauty. So to win Krishna's heart, so Kubjāya kimunama rūpamadikam, where is the material beauty of this hunchback maid servant Kubjā that Krishna got impressed? And kim tat Sudāmno dhanam. We know the story of Sudāmā Vipra, a Sudāmā Brahmin, where he was actually a classmate of Krishna, but then during the course of time they get departed and Krishna becomes king, of course, of Dwaraka. But Sudāmā suffers through a lot of poverty. Then his wife says, "You are classmates with Krishna, why don't you try approaching him and he might help you in the times of need?" So Sudāmā and Krishna are very dear friends, and so he was so yes, I want to meet Krishna, like that. He doesn't think what will happen and so on. And then he is about to start, and his wife only gives some flattened rice, and then she packs it and gives this as a gift to Krishna. So though his clothes are torn and so on, he will be going and talking to the Dwarapalakas, the the watchmen to the big palace of where Krishna is. But from Antahpuram, I think Rukmini sees Sudāmā and goes and tells Krishna, and Krishna, after some time, Sudāmā will be waiting, but there will be so much big sounds coming, which is like sounds of marching elephants towards him. When he turns back and sees in the gate, he sees Krishna running so fast with all the queens and all the the servants and other staff in the palace running towards Sudāmā. And Krishna is running so fast that he's there is no Uttariyam or anything. With bare chest he is running, though he is the king of that palace and so on. So then he will take Sudāmā into the palace, offers him a lot of hospitality, he washes Sudāma's legs because Sudāmā is a Brahmin, and he gives proper vipra, how you have to cater towards them, that full respect he gives. And he will be very excitedly saying to Rukmini, "Hey, Rukmini, what happens once we were trapped in this cave, then Sudāmā and I were there," like that he will be narrating all his Gurukul pastimes, like that he will be saying. And so Sudāmā will be in so much meditation, he's so absorbed of Krishna, he's so much in love with Krishna. Then he's having some hesitation whether to give that flattened rice to Krishna or not. He is such a king and so beautiful personality and all that. How can I give? Like that he's having some hesitation. Then Krishna only asks, hey Sudāmā, I know your wife gave you something to give me as a gift. Give me that, like that he'll ask. So when that, like he'll be with hesitation only, he will give that. Then Krishna actually gives that flattened rice. He will eat and he'll give to all the queens. Like a Mahaprasad, he will be distributing that flattened rice. And so the purpose of Sudāma's visit is to ask some material help from Krishna. That he is suffering so much from poverty, he is not able to meet the food that his wife and children are going through. So he forgets in this all the things that to ask Krishna all these favors, and then he is going back to his house, and then in the middle of the way he remembers that I didn't ask Krishna the purpose for why I came. So, but okay, next time we'll ask like that, and with happy mood only he'll be going. But instead of that poor hut, he will see a big palace, and all his the children and wife comes with this pattu silk garments and all that. So that time when Sudāmā is in the palace, Krishna already knows the heart of Sudāmā, sent and provided all the arrangements that Sudāmā needs. So here that's what the verse is. Kim tat sudhamno dhanam. If you think that only if I am being wealthy, I can perform devotional service devotional service well. So where is the wealth of Sudāmā? Is he a rich guy? No, he is like a poor Brahmin. But how Krishna reciprocated that, we will see that. So Vamsahko Vidurasya. So we all know how in Mahabharata Vidura plays an extremely important role. But Vidura is not from noble birth. So he will be born from maid servant. So that's why even though the elder brother Dhritarashtra is like blind guy, so the Panduraj is in like several pursuits here and there. So like only a role that Vidura plays is of advisory role. He cannot take any of the Kshatriya duties and so on. So the reason why this happens is like there is a story afterwards I'll tell, that Vidura is none other than Yamadharmaraj. He is not Amsa, he is not a form, extension, nothing. He is direct Yamadharmaraj coming as Vidura Dev. So Yamadharmaraj is one of the Mahajanas, and so that's why whenever Vidura speaks, like it's of proper dharmas and all that he will speak. So there is a curse in the beginning of Adi Parva of Mahabharata. Mandavya Muni curses Yamadharmaraj because he did not write one rule properly. So you have to take birth as a human life, and then you have to go through this lowly birth or something like that. So this verse says about Vamsahko Vidurasya. So Vidura actually guides Dhritarashtra. Yudhishthira takes a lot of guidance from Vidura. So Vidura Niti there is there in Mahabharata where he instructs Dhritarashtra a lot. So all that is there. And also we see when peace negotiations, when Krishna came into the palace, so Duryodhan will be serving a Rajbhog plate and like damsels dancing to welcome Krishna. Krishna will not even take his offering, Duryodhan's. Then instead of it, Krishna resides in Vidura's house. Though Vidura is not of noble birth, he Rukasak Vidura Gar Kayo. Like that it comes Duryodhana ka bhog na kayo, Rukasak Vidura Gar Kayo, Aise prema pujari radhe, sham sham sham. There is a bhajan in that it says, that is when Duryodhana is serving you full plate of like Rajbhog, you didn't take it. But instead of it, Vidura and Vidurani, his wife, out of seeing that ecstatic love of Krishna, they don't have any cooked meal or anything. So they'll be having this rukasak, like raw vegetables and fruits. Out of that ecstasy of love, they will be like taking banana, throwing the banana and giving the peel to Krishna. So in that they'll give reverse. But Krishna will be eating that peels. So all that uncooked peels he will be seeing. So I say prema pujari radhe shama shama sham. That is what. So Krishna received that devotion, though it's not of that opulent nature and all. So Vamsahko Vidrasya. And Yadavapater Ugrasya Kim Paurusham. So Ugrasena is actually the maternal grandfather of Krishna. So when Kamsa, out of greed and arrogance, puts Ugrasena in prison, then when Krishna came to Mathura, kills Kamsa, and then installs Ugrasena, and he gives some, I don't know, some billions of people as the bodyguards, and he saves them. And also, because Ugrasena is the maternal grandfather of Krishna, Krishna bows to him, and he says, "You are the rightful heir to the throne," and then he installs as the king. So, but why this example was given is, Ugrasena, though his own son is putting him in the prison and torturing him, he never rebelliously did some other tactics, but he was being patient, saying that, my grandson Krishna will come. And with humility and all, he behaved. So, Ugrasena Kim Paurusham is very chivalrous strength of Ugrasena that Krishna has impressed with him and installed him as the emperor. So the punchline of the the sloka and also the class is, then what is the qualification that Krishna saw through these verses? Through these examples, what we see is, Bhaktya tushyati kevalam nacha gunair bhakti priyo Mādhava. That's what this verse is. That is, Lord Mādhava is pleased only by loving devotional service, not by material qualifications. So if anyone has that hesitation of whether my qualification is enough or not, or like whatever the limitations that they have, if you have those qualifications, that's good. That's a blessing of Krishna. But what actually Krishna sees is that love with which we are performing that devotional service. That's what this verse says. Vyādhasya charanam Dhruvasya chavayo vidya Gajendrasya ka Kubjāya kimunama Rūpam adhikam kim tat Sudāmno dhanam vamsah ko Vidurasya Yādava pater Ugrasya kim paurusham bhaktya tushyati kevalam nacha gunair bhakti priyo Mādhava. This is the verse from Padyāvalī. I thought it's a nice verse to discuss and go through the briefly see the examples that were given in this pastime. That's all. That's the class for today. If anyone has any questions or comments, you can say. That's all. Any questions or anything? Any comments? Take the mic. Yes, Guru.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Just one question. When you mentioned the qualities of a devotees, so are those qualities the qualities of coming from a material body, or are the qualities coming from the soul?
So soul is always pure. It has pure intelligence, Sat Chit Ananda. So once we in the ultimate state where the purification happens and we are always loving servants of Krishna. So this, like Prabhupada tells that whatever the experience that we have, we'll remember it and we'll be a bit careful. So what these qualities or qualifications that I'm saying is the intent with which we have to perform devotional service, so that we get purified of any contaminations that we have and go to that state of Swarupa, where you are in like pure love with Krishna, Suddha Bhakti. To go to that state, so during this process, we should always have that loving devotional service towards Lord. That's what. In pure state, everyone will know their Swarupa, and they are Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayor Dasa Das Dasa Anudas. That realization we will have it. So right now we are actually covered with that contamination of enjoyership, or like thinking that I-centeredness and so on. So when you practice and ultimately that purification happen, we will realize our constitutional position and we'll do it very blissfully actually. That's all. That's all. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So now we'll have prasadam and then we'll have last darshan of the Lord. Thank you.